What's up, guys? Dave Ward here. A quick story about how I got started as a Beachbody coach. It's kind of an interesting story, I think. As many of you know, my wife Monica is my sponsor, and she's also a founding coach. And so I remember she came back from the founders meeting. I decided I wasn't going to attend that meeting because I didn't really have any desire to be a coach. And she came back and she was really fired up. She started talking to everybody she could talk to. And I remember she talked to me about becoming a coach. And I said, well, whatever, I'm not interested in doing that. I'm a lawyer and that's what I do. And I remember, and so she said, okay, great. And she went off and talked to a couple other people and they joined her in her business. And then she came back to me and said, okay, I think I'm going to sign you up because I keep signing people up ahead of you. And that's a disadvantage to you. And I said, well, I don't care because I'm never going to be a coach. I'll never forget this. I was in the shower at the time we had this conversation. I'm never going to be a coach, so it doesn't really matter. But look, if you need me to sign up because it somehow helps you, great. I'll be a coach, fine. So she signed me up, and then continued throughout 2007 to build her business. That November, something happened that really changed my life, which is my dad died, and he was only 62 when he died, and the last probably 10 years of his life were pretty miserable due to a degenerative brain disorder that he had. But it really caused me to think about my life and where I was going. And, what if that happened to me? No one could tell me, even to this day, no one can tell me whether that's hereditary or if that's some condition that I'm going to start suffering from at some point. And so I decided to get really busy living my life. And I had a lot of different ideas about what I wanted to do to sort of escape the office environment. The way I sort of thought about it at the time, I was kind of pushing papers around, yelling at people a lot, and making money for other people was what I did as a lawyer. And I decided that I really needed to reclaim my time and that I wanted to start living my life while I still had a life to live. I was like 35, 36 at the time, and I was young and I was in pretty good shape and working out, doing, I was a long-time Beachbody customer. And one of the things that happened that was super interesting was that year, Monica had a really good year, and she qualified for the top coach trip, which was at the time about 25 or 30 coaches. I don't remember the exact number. It was a pretty small group of people though. And we went off to Grand Wailea in Maui and we met, and I got to meet some of these guys who were in the business. And I was amazed with some of their stories. Somebody like a Robert Hudgens, who used to be a firefighter, sitting there and talking to Robert about how he wasn't able to provide for his family. I mean, stories about like their Christmas and how tough Christmas was for them. And now it wasn't anymore. And how he loved what he did for a living. And it was a really unique experience and time for me to get to know some people who had had success really early in this business and talk to them about, okay, what do you do? Like, how did you do it? Because I don't have any experience in sales. I certainly know nothing about network marketing. I'm a lawyer. What do I do in order to get what you have? And these conversations just led us into all these different directions. And Robert wasn't the only person there. I mean, I got to meet Pete Penny and a lot of other people as well who really inspired me to come back and sort of get rid of some of these crazy, well, they seem crazy now, but some of these ideas I had about how I was going to reclaim my time, maybe becoming a teacher, a real estate investor, or some other, opening a sporting goods store in the mountains, which is still not off the table, by the way. But I was able to wrap my head around what it was to be a coach and how to be successful in this business, because I had exposure to people who were in leadership roles and who had really done it. And the reason that I tell you that whole story about my evolution is because I was talking to somebody today about our men's leadership event in Dallas on March 28th. And the conversation was basically this: look, I'm kind of a new coach and I don't think I'm ready for men's leadership because I'm not a leader. And my response was simply this: look, leadership starts somewhere for everybody, okay? That trip was where leadership really started for me. Leadership starts with you, okay? You have to learn to be a leader of self before you can learn to lead other people. And I had to do that exact same thing. At some point, I had to figure it out, get off my ass, and get to work on me. Okay, I had to build my business. I had to do a lot of personal development to get over a lot of hurdles that were standing in my way. I had to learn how to stand in front of a video camera like this and talk comfortably to people like you. That didn't happen overnight. It started with me meeting some leaders at what was essentially a leadership conference and having them translate that into my life. Here's what it could look like for you. That is the opportunity you have if you come to our men's leadership event in Dallas on March 28th, okay? You can go to www.trainingcampdallas.com to register. If you have questions about this event, I want you to post them below, okay? If you're already attending an event, awesome. Tag somebody in this post. Let them, make sure that they know about it, and make sure they understand this is not an event for leaders only. It's an event for guys who want to be successful in this business. And what I know about becoming successful in this business is it is contingent on one thing, and that is you becoming a leader. And becoming a leader is really, really simple. You find a gap where nobody else is leading and you fill it. Now, that's the opportunity that's in front of you. I want you to have what I have, and what I know is that you can start by joining us in Dallas on March 28th. So I want to see you there. Again, if you're going, comment below. Let us know you're going. If you have questions, comment below and let me know what your questions are. I'll get them answered. This seems to be a big one about whether or not this event is only for people who are already leaders. It's not. And also, I'd appreciate it if you could like the post and, of course, share it with your friends and tag somebody who you want to attend the event with you. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you guys in Dallas. I'm so looking forward to this event. We had a conference call the other day with the guys who are the speakers, and it's really an awesome energy that we're creating here. And this event is going to be something that I think is really, really special and somewhere that you are going to want to be. So I'll see you in Dallas.